I have swapped the countryside for the cityscape today. We have a 3.5 kilometre walk all around Limerick City, and they tell me that my guest is the right man to show me all the history and character of this great town. My name is Doireann, and this is Tracks and Trails.
Cities can be an unusual destination for a walk, but Limerick's definitely not shy of being an interesting one. It's both modern and old at the same time, and it's one of the oldest cities in Europe. Steeped in stories, history and folklore, and has recently become a canvas for international street artists. Limerick is one of Ireland's Viking cities and dates back to the 9th century. It's currently home to a multitude of historic and cultural treasures that can all be discovered in a walk through the city. If I'm walking in Limerick City, what I want is the insider information on the place. And who better than a real Limerick local? Stephen Cunneen is just that. Born and bred here, Steve is a local businessman and does guided walks around the city.
Steve, hello, how are you?
Hey, Darren, how are you? How was things? Welcome to the beautiful Treaty City on this fabulous day.
I know, you rang ahead, you organised the weather for me.
I organised the weather.
Joe, I've been to Limerick so many times, but I know nothing about the place.
Well, we're going to walk around today and I'm going to give you a bit of detail about who we are in this beautiful city. We're going to start here in St Mary's Cathedral, which is a lovely place to start. It's fantastic history in this building.
Well, I hear you're the man to know around this town.
I am the man to know. The problem is to get me to stop talking, I think is the problem.
Josh, myself and yourself are well matched, so...
This is the beautiful, majestic St Mary's Cathedral.
Very striking.
Yes, a very big, imposing building and fabulous, and it's at the heart here of King's Island, which is the oldest part of Limerick. And you can see the beautiful building. It's actually a good point to note where you're here. If you look at the top of the building, the stone is different to just about a third of the way down. During the siege, they mounted the cannon on the top of the cathedral, which was generally not done. They didn't fight on holy ground, and they shot at a warship coming up along the Shannon, who returned fire and knocked the top off of the cathedral. So you can see the two different stones where they built it back up 10 or 15 years after it.
Yeah, so intricate. The stonework is so intricate. It's
beautiful. So this is cut blue Limerick limestone, which you will see dotted around the city. It's fabulous limestone, especially in this beautiful weather that we ordered. And if you look down along, you see this door, one of the oldest doors in Limerick, and a very imposing view, right?
So obviously a very old building.
So around the same time as Notre Dame in Paris. Very similar time, but we believe this is nicer.
Oh, who needs Paris?
Who needs Paris when you have St Mary's Cathedral in King's Island?
Listen, we'll go on now.
We'll keep moving.
Recent additions to Limerick City are the murals, and you'll find them all over. National and international artists are coming here to make their mark. And on this street, Castle Street, the murals are dedicated to the renowned women of Limerick throughout history. This
is Shona, the god of the Shannon. So it's part of a series of murals done by Draw Limerick. It's the re-emergence of street art here in Limerick. And it's that contrast, and it's really it kind of embodies Limerick, right? That contrast between the old and the new. And the series of murals was women associated with Limerick. So you have Dolores up on the side of Katie Daly's building, and you have Constance Smith, who was a movie star from the 50s.
Yeah, geez, you've great women in Limerick anyway.
We have fantastic women in Limerick, I love it.
If it's history you're after, then look no further than King John's Castle. Perched on the banks of the River Shannon, it was Limerick's stronghold for centuries. Today, they have pieced together 800 years of Limerick's history, from the flight of the Earls and Limerick's siege to the various trials and tribulation that this castle has seen.
So here we are, first view of the city. So the beautiful Shannon River. You can see the Curragower Falls, and the Shannon, it moves its way down along here about 20 kilometres. You get down as far as the Atlantic Ocean.
God, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Beautiful view. As you can see, the city kind of moves along by the side of the river there, and yeah, fabulous.
Look at this.
So, the best view of the city.
You brought me to the right place anyway.
So you have a fabulous view. You can see the Clare Hills here in the background, and as you walk up, the cathedral that is Thomond Park, the home of rugby.
There you go. You're mad for the Munster rugby here, aren't you? I can see now why you're such a proud Limerick man anyway.
She's beautiful, isn't it? So the majestic River Shannon.
There you go.
And you can see the Three Bridges walk as you follows down along through the city there.
Okay, so we're going to walk all that today.
So we're going to walk all that today. So in the background here you can see Thomond Bridge, and it's interesting how history can pivot on such a small detail. During the Williamite Jacobite Wars, the advancing army were coming over, but there was reinforcements coming over as well, and the French general who was in charge of the castle raised the drawbridge too early, and the troops and the reinforcements actually went into the Shannon. Yeah, hundreds of people killed, and no one then to defend the castle, and no reinforcements came. I would think if they had come across and we had defended the castle, we could all now be here speaking Irish, and we could have had an independent nation.
You're provoking me now, you're telling me what I want to hear. And that was, of course, the famous Siege of Limerick.
Yeah, so 1690, 1691, the Jacobite Williamite Wars. So you have a fabulous view down along. You can see the Three Bridges walk, you can see Wesley, or it's now known as Sarsfield Bridge, who was part of that 1691. They call him the saviour of the city, and then on again to the Whistling Bridge. But you can just see, it's a nice view actually here of the Treaty Stone, which was where they signed the Treaty of Limerick.
Lovely.
So yeah, during those wars.
You'll have to show me that.
Wherever you stand along this walk, if you throw a stone, you are going to hit some piece of history or interesting talking point. Steve is taking me to one of the cornerstones of the city, the Treaty Stone. It signifies the signing of the Treaty of Limerick. And en route, we're going to get a view of another cornerstone of Limerick, Thomond Park.
So rugby is something that I don't really get. I'm more of a GAA woman.
Okay.
But Munster rugby is a
It's a religion.
Yeah.
It's a religion.
That's what I was going to say, right.
Munster Rugby is a tribe, and it's a really good old tradition of rugby in the city. The city is literally divided into the tribe that you are from. So are you a Richmond, are you a Shannon, are you a Garryowen?
Really?
Yeah, very much so.
So is Limerick, is it a hurling town or is it a rugby town?
Do you know what? It's a hurling town and a rugby town and a soccer town, I would say. We have a bit of everything.
You have it all. This is the Treaty City, and that is the Treaty Stone.
Yes, the iconic Limerick Treaty City Stone. So this is after years of war, 2 sieges on the city. The city was obviously devastated. So what happened was they signed the Treaty of Limerick in 1691 on this stone, and the flight of the wild geese happened from here. So the armies left here, went to Cork, and took a boat to France. So you have those famous names in France. So Hennessy Brandy and Lynch's Wines would have all left from here at departure during the 1690 siege.
There you go. God, we love a little treaty in this country, don't we?
I'm telling you.
We'll keep going.
So we're walking up along the Strand here. We're going to come up as far as Sarsfield Bridge. So Sarsfield Bridge is actually iconic, but it's the main thoroughfare into Limerick City up along William Street, coming in along the Ennis Road there. So a fantastic view, obviously, of the Shannon. You could see Arthur's Quay Park across here, and yeah, really nice walk on the 3 bridges.
I'm walking around Limerick now, right, and it seems so vibrant, and there's so much going on, and there's so much development happening. The Limerick you grew up in was very different.
I grew up in Limerick in the 80s and 90s, right? And Limerick is quite a working class town, and I say that in a very positive way. And I'm an engineer by trade, so I've worked all over North America. I've lived all over North America. And when we left in 2000, 2006, 2007, Limerick was just kind of coming back, and we were coming into that recession time, right? But the Limerick now is a fantastic, vibrant city, okay?
Yeah.
It's a city full of culture and brimming with that kind of multiculturalism.
You know, that's a big thing, especially in hospitality. You know, are you conscious of welcoming people in, and, you know, the kind of Limerick that you want to create and be a part of?
Yeah, so you have the Céad Míle Fáilte, obviously, right? The old Irish way of doing it, but Limerick is a very welcoming town. So we're the 3rd biggest city in the Republic. You have 3 major colleges, so you have 2 Southside, you have UL, and you have the Art College here, which brings that kind of youth into the city. And then you have to be that welcome. So in my game in hospitality, you have to kind of, you know, you want to portray the best that Limerick has to offer, and definitely the welcome in Limerick is fantastic, you know. And it's great to see the city developing into this kind of major metropolitan city in Europe.
Yeah.
Finding its own identity.
Limerick City has a long and diverse history, and you'll find statues, artworks and various monuments that make sure residents and visitors stay in touch with its past.
So what's this here now?
So this is a statue commemorating the dockers of Limerick. Limerick is a huge trading port, and we would have traded all over the world with goods coming in and goods going out. So Limerick is famous for its pork, its bacon, big town, and Limerick lace, so we would have been trading out. But it's fantastic to see here this commemorated, and the artist actually put for my father John on the side of it. His father, I believe, was a docker, so he dedicated the statue to the dockers of Limerick. But yeah, it's definitely a kind of an analogy for Limerick itself, where you have this huge crossroads of the world, people coming in, and that emigration, and that culture, multiculturalism, and us shipping our goods out and our people out. So thousands and thousands of people would have left from here during the famine and different times in their history, and people coming to Limerick as well to start new lives and to come into our new cultural city.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? There's great nods to the past we felt all around the walk.
Okay, so Doireann, this brings us to the end of our journey.
It's been real.
It's been fantastic walking the 3 bridges on this beautiful sunshining day that we ordered straight in for you.
I tell you, nothing like a Limerick welcome.
Nothing like a Limerick sunshine welcome. If you head straight on along here, it'll bring you back to Kings Island, back into the heart of the city, and it'll complete your walk back to where we started.
Great.
So have a good evening now and enjoy yourself, okay?
Steve, you're great. Go on, tourist, long phone.
This city walk is just over 3.5 kilometres long, but the nice thing is that it can be taken as slow or as fast as you like. There's plenty of places of interest to stop to visit or places to eat and drink. You could make this walk take half a day or longer, or you can do it as a brisk and interesting walk in around 45 minutes.
I've had a beautiful day walking around Limerick City, and it's funny, I've been here so many times, but I was totally ignorant to the richness of history that there's here to discover. And you know, in a lot of ways, I think this show is just all about that, finding out what there is to discover on your own front step.
If you enjoy the show, email us or connect on social media and tell us your story. We'd love to hear about your tracks and trails, especially if it's influenced you in any way. Has it got you out walking? What did it do for you? What were the benefits? Your feedback could inspire our next show.